And we're live.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that a ghost I'm seeing? Oh my God.
I like how it flickered on and off too.
Oh my goodness. I got shook for a second, like I'm watching The Nun Part 2. Okay, wow. Oh my goodness. It's great to have you guys on. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you right now. Just know that you are locked in again onto the point with
Yep. Been a long
and the
time since I
king.
said that.
You guys know what to do. Go down there, click subscribe, click like. Go check us on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you can find us. And I'm sorry, guys. I got some great guests today. We have all the way straight from Lithuania, Mr. Jonas Valanciunas. Oh wait, sorry, I got that wrong. I got that wrong. Sorry,
It's
bro.
the beard. It's the beard. I was like, it's Jonas. He's come.
You look just like him, my brother. It's Arturas, our off-screen producer, the guy working all the magic behind the scenes just to bring this for you guys out there. Um, you always see me call him. I'm always making long distance calls. I'm losing a lot of money, but Art, my man, I got number love for you. How you doing today, brother?
Good, good. Actually, good.
Yeah,
Lithuania beat Slovenia today, so
yeah.
yeah.
We'll get into that. That was cool. And back from the dead is the one and only Simon Broder, aka Skip. What's up, my brother? Are we
What's
enjoying
going
the hot
on,
ass summer?
guys? It's hot right now. I'm sweltering under this lamp, but yeah, no, I'm back for a moment. We're trying to enjoy Canada, doing some damage at the FIBA, and I thought Jonas had joined us because once he got knocked out, he didn't care. But
Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, this is the team of To The Point that brings everything to you. Myself, Skip, and Arturas, and we appreciate you guys. And I had to bring them out here for today because the topic that I would like to cover is, well, the FIBA World Cup, which is what's going on, since they both alluded to it. So, Art, I would like to ask you first, since you are currently in Lithuania, can I see that shirt again? Can we all see that shirt?
Okay, maybe it's backwards, but
That's that's a dope shirt, bro. Send me one. But I would like to ask you, since you're out there and you can experience the climate a little bit better than us on this side of the pond, what are your thoughts on Lithuania currently and possibly other European teams that might have been knocked out or still fighting for a spot out there? Like the fan base, can you explain the fan base and what your thoughts are, especially on your team?
well, this championship is in Philippines, so it's far
Yeah.
away from Europe and even Canada. So imagine fans going there, paying their money, sacrificing work, families, and it's a big thing for us, small countries like beating USA, like 2 million people living in Lithuania, beating 300 million people.
Mhm.
So it's a big thing.
It
It's
was,
like,
it was. I think that was a good game. I don't know if USA was necessarily playing their A game, but
But Art, is it well like for you like out there? It's like, are you guys like? I just got a question because for us here in Toronto, some of the games are like 5:30 in the morning, 9:30 in the morning. What is it like for you guys since you have a 7 hour difference than us?
well, it's
Is it like
better.
the
It's
bars are packed or something like just with the fans?
well, the Lithuania played with Serbia in the lunch, so everybody in Lithuania didn't work, just watch the game, eat food, and everybody stopped to watch the games. Sadly, we don't have
Wow,
still that passion
dude,
here.
that's so cool. Because here in Canada, we don't have that. And by the way, yes, I love the fact that Lithuania beat the state's team. Okay. Um, but here in Canada, we don't have that opportunity because pretty much nobody's working at that time unless you're in the restaurant industry. But Skip, I gotta ask you, because we've both been in the restaurant industry. Now that you and I are both born-bred Canadians, I want to ask you what your thoughts are on the Canadian national team being, as currently of this recording, being in the semifinals. What are your thoughts, and how do you think they've progressed, and quite possibly how Canada's developmental side has helped this team?
Well, I think the first thing that comes to mind is that Canada actually brought an NBA team to this tournament. And there's no other team out there that can really say that other than maybe the States. All the European teams, you know, they have one or two featured NBA players, you know, maybe two or three on some of the teams. And then they have a decent supporting cast of, you know, these established EuroLeague players. But you look at Canada's roster, 7 NBA players. Seven NBA players getting the vast majority of the minutes. You'll see a little bit of Ejima here, or a little bit of who's the other guy, Kyle Alexander, or someone like that. One of these fringe guys like get 5 minutes at the end of a quarter or something. But all the lion's share of the minutes are getting played by legit NBA rotation players. And you look at the other rosters in this tournament, and a lot of these teams are featuring guys who washed out of the NBA, who are kind of bottom of the roster players. I think about the game against Spain, which was a very close game, right? And they were featuring Willie Hernan-Gomez and Juancho Hernan-Gomez, who literally Juancho washed out of the Raptors last year, got cut halfway through the season. And he's one of Spain's like featured players. And then you got, on the Canada side, you got Shai, elite player, probably the best player left in this tournament now that Luka's gone, or not gone, on the loser side of the bracket. Again, as of this recording, let's be clear. I don't know what's going to happen against Serbia, but yeah, we got Shai, and then we got all this depth behind him, all these like 3 or 4 legitimate NBA wings, and they've shown that when they actually lock down and play solid NBA defense, they could beat most of the teams in this tournament. They just haven't been able to do that for a full 40 minutes, really consistently.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on like how positive are you when it comes to witnessing the development of our Canadian players, our fellow Canadians, our Canucks?
Well, there's a lot of depth. There's a lot of depth, but I think, let's be real, it really comes down to Shai. It's really nice to have one of the top 10 players in the world on your team. Like, that's something, as a Raptors fan, I've been watching that for years, and it's always like, all right, who's our superstar? Who's our go-to guy? And it's is it Pascal? Is it DeMar? As Team Canada, we have that guy. We have that alpha, that one guy. And I'm watching some of these plays, man. Like, he'll go in, he'll take this weird, nasty fadeaway. It goes in every single time. Every single time it goes in. It's just filthy. He's just like, he's on a completely different level than any of the other international players this tournament. Really, other than like Luka. I think he's the only one who's kind of on Shai's level. But I mean, if you want to talk about the depth of the program, sure. I mean, we're producing a lot of legit NBA talent. We're developing a lot of we're able to fill out a full roster now, right? It's not just one or two guys here or there.
Yeah.
But really, it comes down to the high-end, star-end talent, and we have that now, and we've never had that before.
Yeah, I remember. I'm going to go in here. I was at the Maple Leaf Gardens in 1995, and I did get to witness Steve Nash play for the Canadian team, right? And he's the only memorable player that I saw on that roster. But speaking of the Canadian team, and like us being Canucks, and we bleed red, just like our flag, just like what's right behind you, Skip, right? You know, from what I've said this, and ladies and gentlemen, hold me accountable however you want. I have said this 3 months ago that the Canadian team will finish in the top 3 in the FIBA World Cup. I have said this. It's online. It's on one of our back shows. You can go check that out. But I'm actually excited about it, that the Canadian team, like witnessing the developmental league, like them developing players over here instead of sending our guys to the States, to the AAU, and developing them down there most of the time, right? that we are actually taking the time here. And I'm loving the transition from all the way back, like I said, in 95 when I went to watch the game, to see this growth within the city. I've grown up with guys who could have been in the NBA, right? I've grown up with guys that, one of them I know was in the NBA, right? One of them is currently in the NBA as a coach, right? I know guys, but we didn't have that outlet and these resources, and I'm so happy to see it pay out in dividends for what Team Canada can do and bring to the floor. And I'm telling you, I'm saying it. They're finishing in the top 3. If not, they're winning it all. Art, I know you've been here, and I know you love Canada. Can I see that shirt?
Yeah. Thank God.
Show me how much you love Canada, bro. And tell me your thoughts on the Canadian national team.
There we go. Let's go, Jays.
Yes. Art, what are your thoughts on the Canadian national team, brother?
Thank God they didn't meet Lithuania in semifinals. We'll be cheering for Lithuania, not Canada.
It would have been better if we played you guys, I think.
This would have been a more fun conversation, but go on.
Yeah.
But please go on, Art.
Yeah, but imagine Canada having Jamal Murray. It will be a super team, but now they have strong leaders. One isolation, Shai, and isolation God.
Well, I wish we had Jamal, but I think in the Serbia matchup, we're probably better off for the Nuggets not being involved.
Yeah.
Well, Art, I got a question for you.
I think Canada needs more height because Olenek is just stretch 4. And
Yeah.
Paolo also is just a defense more player. So
Yeah, for sure. I would agree with that.
Problems at center.
Yeah, and Dylan Brooks is a good defender, but Art, I have one more question to ask you, right? A follow-up question. Now, what we're watching right now with international teams playing that style of international basketball, right? And you coming from there and understanding the game from there, do you find a difference between the way international basketball is played by sharing the ball as opposed to NBA style where it's more like isolation ball? Is that the culture up there?
Yeah, it's like extra hockey pass, It's not in the stats, And this year Lithuania has no names, just Valančiūnas, maybe some Europe players, and everybody is not surprising, but just following the system and doing this extra pass. Just the coaching staff doing amazing job, scouting and doing this plays. It's
yeah. Well, I go back to the game against Spain, right? The Canada game, because I'm sorry, I haven't watched a lot of Lithuania in this tournament. I've been really focused on Canada, but the game against Spain, where Canada played against Spain, and I just mentioned how like Willie Hernangomez was their best player, and I'm sitting here like, how are we losing in this team? We're down 12 points in the fourth quarter against this team, and it's what you said. It's that whole team basketball. It's the sharing the ball. It's the playing together. It's the chemistry. But still, talent should win out, and as long as the talent is matched with the hustle, and I think that's what Canada brings to this tournament is they've actually they're not. Sorry,
it's just one game.
It's just one game. That's true. But they did blow it against Brazil pretty badly.
Knock it round,
Yeah, anyone could have a bad game. That's true.
Well, Skip, so what are you telling me? You're telling me that the NBA style of play, this North American style that we have, is different from international? Mostly American, right?
I think it's a bit overblown. I think what you're seeing is...
I love the ball movement, bro. I'm loving it.
Yeah. What you're seeing is the difference between how do I put this? A
Be
less
nice.
talented team and a more talented team. And how do you beat a more talented team if you're a less talented team? You have to lean out into all those things. You have to lean into the hustle stats. You have to lean into passing. You have to do all those things. Now, there's probably some of that is probably carried over from the European style. Obviously, point totals, individual point totals tend to be lower on EuroLeague rosters. There is more kind of maybe more ball movement and stuff like that. But I think the NBA players are capable of doing that. It's just about what they're prioritizing, what they're focusing on, and how much that is being incorporated into the system, right? So, yeah, I think there is a bit of a difference, but I think it's just a little bit overblown, maybe.
I have a theory on that one, and that will be the next episode, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I add something?
Go ahead, Art. You the man.
And this is FIBA game, and you have to adjust to the FIBA system. So I don't know, America team, nobody play in FIBA tournament, so you have to adjust to the rules and stuff. And
Yeah, the rules are different, but the rules are, I mean, they're not that different, It's still basketball.
Rules ain't as soft as the NBA. I'll tell you
They're
that.
different. They're different. I understand. There's. That's like going from an NBA player going to a pickup game. Like, yes, it's a different set of rules, but it's still basketball at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, you ever played Jailhouse Rules? I'll tell you, that ain't fun. Okay. Sometimes you might end up with a knot on the back of your head. Anyway.
It's an adjustment. All I'm saying is an adjustment, but it's a makeable adjustment, and I think Canada has made that adjustment. Yeah.
Okay, guys, I've been talking a lot of. Yeah, I can say it. We're already a couple minutes in. I can say it. I've been talking a lot of shit about the U.S. team. I have zero faith in that team. I don't know how, as of this current recording, they're in the semifinals, right? But do you guys? Let's quickly go here. Art, I'll start with you. Do you possibly see Canada taking out Serbia and the States taking out Germany and go for the gold? Do you possibly see that?
I think it's both the tight games. I don't know. I want that Canada would win because Serbia beat us. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
And,
waters run deep.
I want that Germany would win because the new Toronto Raptor Schroeder is on the roster.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't miss 25 shots his next game.
Yeah, and hopefully he doesn't argue with his coach again.
Call him world champion, maybe.
Yeah.
Skip, what are your thoughts on the possibility of us against our borders, our neighbors from the south?
I think obviously we haven't seen the games played, but I think that's absolutely a possibility. I think U.S. can win this matchup. I think Canada can win their matchup, and then going into a potential final. First of all, I think it'd be very disappointing if Canada didn't finish second, didn't finish at least silver. I think bronze or fourth would be very disappointing at this point. I'm okay with losing to the States. I think as much as maybe that roster doesn't have the old school star players that you're thinking of, there's a lot of young up and coming talent on that team. No, I mean, it's already arrived. Guys that have already arrived, right? Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton. There's some really, really good players on that team. It's just not the Team USA we're kind of typically thinking of maybe 5 years ago, 7 years ago, or something like that. That said, I think Canada might have the best player in that game, but I think the US probably has the better depth, the better sort of 2 through 6. So I think they are in for a hell of a battle if Canada wants to pull that game out. And I wouldn't bet on Canada 50-50. I do think they have a chance. I don't think it's going to be a massive blowout. I think, they're going to have to get through Serbia in good shape. They're going to have to play 4 really, really good quarters against the U.S. They're going to have Shai show up. You're going to have to not get in foul trouble, which is what Dylan Brooks did not get in foul trouble. He'd be like the second best player in the whole tournament, but he keeps getting himself in trouble and thrown out of games and all this. So
yeah, because he's the main defender.
Yeah, but it's more than that. If you saw the foul that he got thrown out on, if you saw what he got thrown out for in last game, right? He's just talking trash after making a 3 or something. And it's just like, you can't do that in a winner take all gold medal game. You just can't. It was unacceptable to do it when he did it, and it'd be even worse later in the tournament. So Canada has to show up and play like this is Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And I mean, assuming they get through Serbia, which we shouldn't look past that game. And if they do, then I think they can take it. But it's going to be tough, hard fought, no mistakes basketball. And yeah, we'll see if they have that in them. They've started to show it in flashes. I just don't think they have it in them for a full 40-minute game.
I think they do. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm sticking to it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Art, before we guys get out of here, man, Art, would you like to say anything to anybody out there? You know, your production is so great. If anybody can get hold of you to like, you can help out. If there's anything that you would like to say, brother.
If you like my production, just contact me. If you wanna just talk about basketball, contact me somehow.
Somehow. We'll put his info in the video, Brian.
He's gonna do it. I'm not doing
it. You do it.
I will
throw stuff in there.
Huh?
Put up some selfies from your trips. All right, I love you, brother. Skip, you got anything left to say to anybody out there?
Go Canada. It's got me excited in basketball again, I must say. I started this tournament not really caring about it. Every game that's gone on, I've gotten more and more into this. I'm edging my seat now. I'm preparing to wake up at 4:45 tomorrow morning to watch this stupid game. Like, I wouldn't have done that for the first round, but we're getting into medal territory here. So yeah, go Canada. I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna sign off here, guys. You guys find Art whatever he puts up on the screen. You guys find him. You guys can find Skip at Dougie J's on Twitter. Get at him. It's getting crunch time for baseball season. Skip, by the way, you still owe me a game to go to. You can find him.
I'm trying to take you. Oh no. Go on.
Yeah. Shut up. At simonbroder.com. You guys can find his books on Amazon. You guys know where to find me. Right here at To The Point. You can also find me on, coming up soon, What the Facts, another podcast. You guys can find me at King Hussein on Instagram. Ladies, yes, I still am single. Don't let this ring fool you. Okay? So, guys, I love this, that we're reunited, and it feels so good to have our off-screen producer right there, ladies and gentlemen, Arturas.
Bring the boys back home. Isn't that the Pink Floyd song?
No, I was doing an old Sherelle song.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, you guys find Arturas, like he said, wherever you can find them. You guys check out Skip. I love this. And guys, thank you. So on behalf of myself and the To The Point family, and if you're watching, I consider you guys also as To The Point family. Yeah, we all got it. Well, Skip ain't got it, but we got it up. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, and
peace.